There I am, and a pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to the morning steam for Sunday, December 3rd. I'm Ramon Scott coming to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. And today should be chock full of drama, questions, thrills, excitement. No, not the NFL Sunday. I'm talking about the college football playoff. We're on pins and needles, just waiting for the announcement. Who's in? Who's out? Oh, gosh. There's plenty of speculation this morning. Who are your four teams to get into the college football playoff? Can Alabama rise up from their previous position and make it all the way into the top four? I mean, you got to kind of stick with your rankings, right? That's what I said about the committee every week. It's a smoke show. And I'm not talking about me and smoke in the chat. I'm talking about a little bit of voodoo and a little bit of misperception and massaging the programs a little bit, getting their hopes up, and it just comes down to what the committee does. I guess a vote it might be how it ends up working, but who will we see after yesterday's shocking results? Not shocking. If you're Ramon Scott, we did okay, I think, on our general perception of maybe the better teams, who was going to win the games, and how the games were going to go. We did pretty well yesterday, but I don't think you can handicap what these guys are going to do. I don't even want to speculate myself. I mean, there's no need to. You can rank them and re-rank them, and again, with Alabama, Georgia finally losing, you're actually going to kick a team out that it just went on a world record winning streak basically and lost a game by to a pretty good team that probably has been under an Alabama team that has been underrated probably most of the year to a certain extent. Amazing you would even think that, right? And good for Washington, good for the Pac-12 because no question marks. Florida State, do you really penalize a team because of an injury to someone? Well, that's not how it works if it's a playoff. You could go in there with the man off the street, like sometimes they do nowadays in the pro football ranks. So, we'll see. We'll see before the NFL games start. I think it's like a 4 hour show. We might have to sit there through, a bunch of talk before. I don't think they're going to come right on and tell us. I'm trying to remember in the years past, but we really never had, yeah, maybe a little bit of drama, but never anything like this in the last year. So it's funny. And want to say hello to everyone. Yeah, we'll have NFL football. I guess it'll be a short show unless I just talk as usual about the events of yesterday and today NFL. Pretty interesting card, certainly. We'll have questions, answers, and all that drama too. NHL 5 games, NBA. We'll take the day off because tomorrow is the in-season tournament quarterfinals underway, and of course, what transpired there is the in-season tournament will rest all the teams because they didn't know who was going to make it, so they don't want any unfair rest advantages playing a game could because any team could have been in the quarterfinals. So everybody gets the day off today, so they would have had a day of rest to get ready for their little playoff that nobody likes, I guess, but just a few of us. I thought it was good. I thought it was cool. So, hey, if you're not an NBA fan, you can, be one of those people. I think they just say it to say it because they want to hate on pro basketball. Hey, pro basketball last night, not a bad night for us, but I have questions. Of course I'm late coming on every day because I'm trying to get the latest information. I'm not sitting there, with my alarm set at 5:45. Uh, you know, I'm sitting here trying to get the best information, waiting for the latest line moves and everything. But I spent the last 20 minutes trying to figure out what Udoka said to LeBron last night, and vice versa. I don't even think I've seen any realistic speculation, but it couldn't have been very gentlemanly. the way it looked like it went down. How about the Lakers last night? Rockets, we're cool, we're good. We like our Rockets, but we do have some issues on the road still. We're young. And talk about the results. Go over to tonyspicks.com. But let me say hello to everyone. What else could we possibly discuss for a couple of minutes? Man, plenty. Let's say hi to the group and who came over today, who's up early, getting breakfast ready. What are you going to do today with this card, huh? With this NFL card. It's an NFL uh, Sunday card. Let's just call it what it is. There's some college. I'll talk 2 college basketball games. If you have any requests, we can fulfill them on the fly. I don't think the college plays were too good yesterday on the show, but the card itself was pretty fun. Wasn't ready to go with any. I just wanted to stick with college football and the premiums because, that's a card you want to bomb. I mean, all the information's out there. You're not gonna want to, with your best picks. There were some great college games though yesterday on the hardwood. We certainly talked about it. Did anybody catch uh, some of my other appearances yesterday with some picks that I made? I crushed the FCS on the uh, Boston Sauce show. Hey, hello to Mike. And Blake is here getting early smoke. He's taking the high road as always. Saw him in there. Uh, Nick, thank you, Nick. Pleasure. You look familiar. I know I've seen you once or twice, or uh, maybe that's a burner or one of my friends. Appreciate you very much, Lazzy Love. Here today. Salty, thank you. Salty, appreciate you so much. Thank you for being such a good new friend and a loyal friend. And I hope you had a great day as well. And, I think it doesn't take long to see, business up here. And whatever type of business it is with uh, the gang. We love our sports. Oh, Ziggy, hello. And Ziggy's got his plays out there. If I could just, Ziggy, do my good friend. Maybe you've already typed them in. I didn't scroll ahead enough here. I'm going to give out Ziggy's plays right now today, if I may, Ziggy, because haven't, I know you're busy and you get a chance to stop by Ziggy today with the Patriots, the Cardinals, the Jets, the 49ers, and the Packers. I'm looking at Ziggy's plays for today right now on Twitter. Ziggy, thank you for joining us today. Thomas giving us a like and smash here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut. Mike's ready to start commenting. Yeah, I guess, they do look, you can't judge just because of the incredible winning streak that you could go through a list of things. Last time Georgia lost a football game to Alabama, by the way, right? But if it is like a playoff to a certain extent, and if the SEC is the least qualified right now, because the talk would be even that Alabama, were they good enough to move all the way up from eighth to fourth to get in? SEC, for all their glory, they look like the weak link a little bit here this time. Talked about it a little bit on one of the shows with a really top host. And, of course, I'm going to be on an under in a game like that. Uh, yeah, had the SEC game blown up in a couple of years, sure, but the defensive speed and in that game, and credit, that's really kind of what you want. I probably believe that Alabama and Georgia, if you kind of lined up the teams several times over and over, probably would take my chances with Alabama and Georgia, especially with a team like Florida State. It's just that Florida State deserves the right to get in a little bit because of their undefeated record in a Power Five conference. So until we figure this out, which we have, but we're stuck with this right now for this year. So why not? We'd have other teams in there that probably deserve a shot in a year like this, right? This is a year where, you know, 8 teams, 12, 12, right? Maybe not 8 or 12 could win, but 5 or 6 or 7 could win, right? and Michigan. And would you really like look? Michigan could win both games, right? But against either of those teams, Alabama or Georgia, yep. Yeah, I'm not taking necessarily looking to take Michigan. I don't know, but I could. Maybe depends on the day of the week with a handicapper like me. But can't tell me that Georgia and Alabama couldn't stand up with some of those teams. It's just that you got to earn your right. The season's only so many games in football. What happened to that? You know what? So a lot of action yesterday. I thought we, man, there was a lot of action yesterday. Makes me want to go down the list and see what happened on some of those crazy games. Howard, hello. Thanks for your comments. We don't know. I don't even want to debate. No reason. Let's let them decide, and we'll see. And I'm sure we'll have neat explanations. But and the SEC, they were, if anything, they were the cannibalistic group yesterday. They were the cannibalistic group this season, right? They got SEC football's tough, man. And sometimes you wonder. And again, remember they go out and play some goofball teams there in the last few weeks, just an easy win somewhere along the line, unless you're Auburn. All right, so I'm going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com then and take a look and see who did what yesterday on the uh, network, and take a look at my fellow handicappers here. That's what this show is all about. This is to promote my premium pick package. And how did it do yesterday? We'll take a look. First one, shout, here's a goal, looks like by Chelsea, but well, I'm not going to get too into the game. I mean, they're going to beat Brighton, certainly. Football action today. We can maybe run down the schedule and maybe some of yesterday's games, because I see Fernando in there. Hello to Perky today, ready to roll. And the looks will be in here. Don't forget that SEC bias. And I'm always, Mr. SEC, Perky. You guys make me feel good, man. Well, I think whatever, I don't know, I'm starting to see more appearances on these, but what you're getting, right, is like with me is, I guess, not about that. I mean, I'm just sitting here watching games, right? I mean, if I'm known for just watching a lot of games, so be it. Okay, shout out to Mindy Hahn with a strong, strong day, 67% plus 448 units. How about the man himself, Tony T? 4-0 yesterday, perfect mark for Tony. I was up there on the handicapper leaderboards again. I think we can safely say there's a winning streak going there. Yeah, maybe we had tossed in the subpar day during the streak, but it's definitely 10 or 11 days appearing on the leaderboard here, staying on that 7 day. We'll show you in just a second. For me, yesterday, hot start, came in a little bit. What were those premiums? All football yesterday. So, like I said, I'm not the type to, in the premium game, you see everyone plays it kind of the same with the volume and everything. Mindy, great day. We'd all love to do that. But I'm going to keep it mostly on a big day like conference uh, championship Saturday. We had the over in Oklahoma, Texas. How about it? We had Miami of Ohio over Toledo. We had the over Boise and UNLV. That was a wild one. We had under in the SEC championship game. We had over in Appalachian and Troy, and the score was like 0-0 in the midway through the second quarter. It felt like. I think they scored a little earlier than that, but they didn't score anything there for a while. Still crushed the over yesterday. So premium pick winners for me yesterday. Also, I went on one of the shows to talk. I've been going on there talking FCS plays a lot of the season, and we rolled those FCS plays. We had Albany over Richmond. We had Villanova in the over against Youngstown. We had Furman on that show. yesterday, and I think we might have got the win with Prairie View and uh, FAMU under, but it might have been a push for some as well because that one was kind of steamy. But pretty good day with the FCS. Should see the rest of my results. All right, but I'm not one of those. Anyways, Ben Ruhala, 8-5 yesterday. Nick Bartini, 75%. Ronnie Crawford, 67%. Ralph Raymond clicking in again with another winning day. Daniel Walasachuk, Joseph Schultz, and Hollywood Sam, all producing a winning day. Over the last 7 days, I'm not on top. It's Ben Ruhala right now on top. Ben showing that consistency there. He's got the high volume. He's our props man right now, and he's doing a good job here, no doubt. Over the last 7 days, up 12 units. Tony T is hottest percentage, certainly right now. Last 7 days, he's up 930 units. I'm up there, certainly. Even I can figure this one out. 60% over the last 7 days, 7.25 units of profit. Ralph Raymond, 4.75 units of profit, and Daniel Walasachuk is up over 300 units over the last 7 days. Last 30 days is Daniel Walasachuk, real strong here, close to 60%, 15.5 units of profit. Tony T up nearly 1,000 over the last 30 days. Nick Bartini up nearly 8 units. Joseph Schultz up nearly 6 units, and Sean Dinwiddie, the king of totals, is up there as well. Check out our premium picks for today over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20%. There's everybody's favorite picture of Tony. Everyone, it's mine anyway. He throws it back a little bit. Certainly, that's not taken yesterday, but man, he could have been in Saturday Night Fever. Love you, Tony. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be on your network and talk about our crew and the premium picks today here. Could you imagine Tony out there on the colored dance floor, the disco lights, and the big collar? You better believe it. Hey, check it out today. Ben Ruhala's got a 3-pack in the NFL for $35, and I'm up there with a 5-pack. Why not grab my early window plays for the NFL? I'm involved in 5 of the 7 games in premium action today, and I'm pretty hot. So consider my plays for the early games. There's 7 games in the NFL at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. And why not go with one of the hottest handicappers on any of the multi-handicapper sites? And I'm having a strong NFL season. Pick up my premium pass, and I'd appreciate it. Hey, we're going to win, but don't look at it as if you're paying for picks, because I know people like, oh, if you pay for picks, you deserve. I saw one of our regulars in here say, you deserve to lose. Hey, you're supporting me. You're getting my information. I don't just give you the picks. I write up some information in there, give you some reasons. Yeah, sometimes I'm a little on the fly, and I'm just got to get the picks in there and just give a few generic trends. But you guys ride with me. You know where I'm coming from. And we're going to be on some pretty consistent sides and totals, but we're also going to be there when everyone's saying, how did you see this coming? We are that guy on the other side. Yeah, you can end up with egg on your face occasionally, but it's about the spots, whatever those spots are. Okay, Ralph Raymond in here. Oh, let me get back to that. I just want to show everybody's package today for Sunday that has it ready to roll with Ben. Uh, Tony's got a 3-pack in the NFL. Nick Bartini, including a hockey game in there. Daniel Walasachuk, he's hot. 5-pack today for 45. Joseph Schultz has a 3-pack. So those are the packages ready to go. Just 3.5 hours from a big kickoff today. Don't forget best bets and $15 from the crew. Thanks a lot, you guys, for listening to the commercial today. Went a little long because, we're cooking a little bit. All right, a few more and we'll get rolling here. I just want to see any more BCS comments here. Doubles, thank you. Yeah, right. It's not about the picks. I'm here. I'm just our host. I'm our host. It's the chat, and it's me representing the chat. Because, like on those other shows, I just start out, I'm a chat person. I got started in the chat and then kind of just worked my way to start doing this. I've been on camera a lot. I mean, I know it shows a little bit, but I always had like shows with the high school kids and everything. I do a lot of local stuff. I'm just a big football and a sports fan. All right. Maybe, right? Maybe do I attract the smart gamblers or just the ones that kind of, think the way we do, right? We want to be a little bit contrarian on occasion. And like I said, oh yeah, maybe that's it, right? They had their elimination game, and we're gonna get this all solved with the new format. Okay, we're a half hour in, so we get rolling a little bit. I just wanted to, maybe go uh, NBA last night because we had a real good show yesterday in NBA. We had the Warriors, we had the Wolves and the Hornets over. Looks like we might have got a push on the Cavs. Maybe you got hooked there. We said the line was going out of control. There was nothing we could do. Cavs would probably get there, but we had the Bucks over the Hawks. How about the double winner, Bulls and Pelicans over yesterday? We had the Thunder. We had Grizzlies Suns over. Yeah, we took the Suns. How about that Dallas game? Lucas said, I was exhausted out there, right? Having a baby, you come back and you play the next day, you're playing inspired, you're playing on adrenaline. I don't know. I don't have any kids, but I mean, this is what's been described, right? You're excited, playing for your future a little bit. And Dallas went on a 30 to nothing run in that game and still lost. Apparently, we also had the over Nuggets and Kings, and we had the Lakers last night. So real strong night in the NBA. We really did well. Hello to William today. He's got his best pick here, it looks like, on the Lions. And Mike's always here. Got me. Basically, Mike and I are also going to have our own show, and I think it's going to be handicapping astrology. Maybe is what we're going to do. And we might have something. NHL, yeah, we had some winners yesterday. Bruins Maple Leafs over. We had the Senators. We had the Flyers. Didn't like the results too much. We had the Coyotes. We had the Golden Knights. Big card, but mixed results. I'd say we did have a double winner with the late game, right? Ducks, puck line, and over. So yeah, we might have taken a wash there. And college basketball yesterday, there were some good games, probably got overlooked big time, but Wisconsin with the upset yesterday, I thought was a notable result. You guys already mentioned some of them in there as well. And it was all cash yesterday, pretty much for me. Love college basketball card like that, but hard to, mix in a volatile college basketball games when you've got some solid college football plays. And we did go 5-2. Okay, let's roll with the NFL. We know that's why we want to get started. Hello, everybody. Hello, NFL football. Today is going to start with my team. Not because it's my team, but it's the top of the board with the Chargers and the Patriots. My Chargers going on the road. What is wrong with? I mean, we know what's wrong. I mean, this is my whole spiel. I mean, you could tune out at this point if you know what my relationship with the Chargers is, and it's probably going to continue today. Keenan Allen is questionable for this game, man. I mean, what are we going to do if we don't have Keenan Allen? Austin Eckler. Look, you want to get him the ball, you want to get him into space, you want to run him a little bit, you want to get, but whatever. Is it over for Eckler? Did we see the best of it? It was always kind of a question mark, really, a little bit in the back of your mind. Durability, retaining the speed, considering the workload, and the style of play a little bit. There's nothing wrong physically with Eckler or anything like that, but it just, and again, maybe if you don't have the overall diversity that you're used to on offense, that can just be a little bit more focus on a guy like Eckler. And whatever reason, the numbers are so smashed down right now, below average player that you end up trying to get the ball to a lot. And he's getting tackled earlier in his plays and not making. So if you don't have a Keenan Allen here in this one, he is probable now. Okay, that's good news. But again, he's getting demolished out there time and time again. He's the only guy Herbert can count on. The Patriots at least have some defense. Now, it is disturbing that they have to go with Bailey Zappi. I wanted to root for Zappi. I was calling for Zappi early, as everybody was, but I know we were on the Mac. We were. Look, I want to root for Mac. I want Mac. I want Mac. Hey, you know what? I hope Mac goes to another team and actually finds some modest success. I've got my dinner bag over here from last night. How embarrassing. Uh, anyways, for Zappy, I want to root, for him to get in the game earlier this season and get more work. It just seems like when it was time to get rid of him or anything, they really haven't given him the best opportunities. The Patriots, as confused as they've been all season, kind of even seem confused as to when to go with the backup or try to. But maybe they've just held on a little bit too long with Mac, of course. And now you got to wonder about the old relationship between. Remember how it got all chummy between uh, Belichick and Saban. Oh, we're best buddies. We're the legendary coaches of all time. And yeah, I could recommend my quarterback to you. Look, he's led us to all those wins. Yeah, he might look a little bit. He might look a little bit. He might have some handles around the waist. But you know what? So did Tom Brady. So take a. And now all of a sudden, that's not looking too good. So it's going to cost Belichick his job and his uh, not going to cost him his legacy. We'll just talk about how it faded a little bit because who knows if he will get back involved. Who knows if he can salvage this situation. I'm taking him today against the Chargers, of course. They'll manage it here somehow to stay within the number. 39 in a Chargers game. That does seem kind of crazy, doesn't it, with their offense? But the Patriots can't score. The Chargers, they're having troubles offensive. There's just no other way around it right now. This is not the Chargers that you're used to necessarily. And in close games, uh, this is not supposed to be a close game. The Chargers are actually supposed to be good enough to go in there. Maybe the odds makers are right. Maybe the public is right. Maybe the Chargers are way better. Maybe this is where Herbert finds it a little bit. Maybe those other receivers will finally get involved a little bit and get more than one or two catches. It feels like. Let's see what you guys have to say. Maybe in this one, I'm taking the Patriots because I don't, yeah, the Chargers are going to win. I'm a Chargers fan. I'm going to root for the Chargers. Obviously, the bookmakers think they're going to win. I think anybody in their right mind would, if the line is 5, I would guess everybody's ratings should be Chargers to win. But man, I mean, feels like a toss up to me. All right. Under for doubles here. Perky's not going to do it. My San Diego man is not going to do it. And Blake, if this happens, maybe maybe we will get the win. Hello to Ray today. Under for Ray. Hello to Lex today. Fernando. Chargers and under. Yes, he's got the Chargers. Ziggy gave the explanation here, the short week, the travel. Fernando under. How about these over unders today? Did they just all of a sudden did they like invent a new rule? There's supposed to be more points this week, apparently. If you look at some of these games, yeah, maybe a couple of the offensive teams are matched up. Uh, could this happen? Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe I will call up the weather here a little bit. I like the people that come on and I like the weather doesn't matter people. I agree with them for the most part, but I think every situation is different, right? The type of team kind of that it is, um, the type of experience a team has, right? I think weather is a factor. It's just not like an automatic factor, right? There are some situations where you might look at like a super rainy game and you might go, "Wow, with those teams, they might actually, like I don't, I everything might be specific, but you might say, wow, those teams in the rain, maybe something crazy would happen." Okay, we gotta finish up this one, but I don't mind talking about the Chargers a little bit. I haven't even got to the preview really, but we can wrap it up. I mean, I'll just take the Patriots. Patriots are terrible against the spread right now. Who would take them? Who in their right mind would take the Patriot this at this point? They've lost 7 of 8. They've failed to cover in 7 of 8. I guess the Chargers are good enough to go in there and get this game by a touchdown. Doesn't seem to me that might be the case, but Blake says it doesn't. It's not. Yeah, they'll just lose because the talent is better in the Chargers. Maybe that's the case, but I'm just going to take the Patriot. It just seems like they do find a way to stay in there somehow, usually because some defense. No doubt about it. Lex Chargers play in a beautiful stadium they rent. They like to rent in a high rise apartment. You know what? Um, anybody? I'm living a modest life here in Vegas, but kind of like in Southern California, uh, some people like to pay up to where they stay. They don't want to buy their own place, just live downtown, a beautiful high rise apartment, and invite friends back to the have a cocktail party. That's what the Chargers do. And the next morning they wake up with Chinese food on the floor, the sun bashing in, and they've already missed the morning games and the afternoon games are at halftime. So the Chargers, have all sorts of problems that will not let me uh, bet on them here. All right. Good luck today with this one. Patriots have gone under in 8 of 10. The Chargers have gone under in 7 of their last 9 games. Give me the Patriots today. The Lions and the Saints. So not bad, not a bad game here, really. Considering, I mean, of course, you got the Lions. Everyone loves the Lions. Yeah, we've got questions. Uh, you know, moving forward with the Lions. They're not up there with those top teams, but they're good. I mean, they're playoff bound, playoff ready. They're probably going to be as good as they're going to get, and they stand a chance certainly in the puncher's chance, even with the big boys. I would imagine somehow, but they're not there yet. It would take a pretty strong performance in playoffs for the Lions to achieve their ultimate goal. But hey, if they could win a game, that'd be hot. And they're going to go on and take the Saints here. And we're talking about the Saints defense a lot lately, right? Because they're doing a pretty good job, considering. Yeah, they're sub 500. Yeah, there's issues with Carr and the offense. There's really issues with Carr on the offense this week, I would think, with injuries to the receiving core. I mean, look, the Saints have enough issues already offensively. If anybody needs their super weapon, Chris Olave, it feels like it's the Saints. And he has concussion protocol that he has to pass, I believe, before he can make it out on the field today. He has been upgraded to probable. I do see here right now off of the active, so that is good news. But Rashid Shaheed is out of this game, and of course, Michael Thomas has already been out, so maybe a little bit short for the Saints offensively in this one. But with the Saints possessing pretty good defense, I would think it'll be tough for the Lions to get much going with a running game here and the secondary receivers as well. Now, for Goff, I would think, his connection with St. Brown is just fine. But beyond that, how much could those guys really do? Yeah, I mean, they can get it to Laporta. But for the Saints, this one might work out okay for them here, it feels like. Look, you know, is Carr, you're not gonna not trust him to a certain extent. I mean, there are other guys in this league that um, you'd take over Carr certainly, and but he's your man right now. He's kind of like one of the guys. He hasn't found his way to the bench. He hasn't found his way to the injured list. He's still toughing it out there, and the Saints are battling for the division title. I mean, they're still live. They've got a winnable game here at home against the Lions today, and I'm going to tap to take the points in this one. Could these offenses really look at that total 47 and a half? Okay. I guess it's going to be a great day for the Saints. I guess Olavi's hot. I guess all the guys are getting going, even though the Lions have a pretty strong rushing defense. I guess Kamara will go off. Whatever. Woo, 47 and a half. The scoring is back all of a sudden, I guess. It never went anywhere. Despite all these under trends, I do have some other notes on some under, league wide under trends. I know you love these boring under, but so trying to figure out, right, is there anything to the fact that these early kickoffs are going under significantly? Early kickoffs averaging 42.2 points per game. The late games are averaging 47 points per game. Now, granted, that late window always will have the best matchup a little bit, right? The best games get moved to the late window or already plugged into the late window. Remember, a lot of East Coast games, the big feature today, of course, is an East Coast game, right? Normally it'd be a 1 o'clock start if it was just two ordinary teams, but those good teams get programmed into the late window early because that's a national game. The NFC, the Fox game, they call it, now there's a little bit of cross coverage with, sometimes the NFC games find their way to CBS. They've mixed that up a little bit to try to make it a little bit fair because for a while there, the NFC was kind of dominant. They had the better games. They're like, hey, we're paying the same money. But so the late games, they're not going, they are going over. The late games are 25 overs and 20 unders this season. The 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific games. The early games of 1 Eastern and the 10 a.m. games, which went 1-5 to the under last week, are 36 overs and 57 unders. Take a look at some of these other trends too in some of these type of games. NFC non-division games such as this, they don't really trend under that much, but this total looks kind of high. Lazzy likes the Lions. Ziggy likes the Lions. Saints here for Lex. Hi, Ari. They were talking up Ari yesterday because everybody loves Ari Gold. Yeah. And now, but Blake, you know what? The Lions are so good; they've got to start laying more than a field goal on the road. And this is the NFL. Saints, they're not in the lower rung, right? Lions all day. Perky loves the Lions. I'm going against Perky. It looks like. All right, we'll move on, I think. Get everyone's comment kind of in here. Because it's all about you guys. All right. I'll take the Saints in this one, plus the points at home. Home dog, NFL, that's me. Uh-oh. I stuck my foot in my mouth there. How can I take this home dog? Oh, this is a great matchup here with the Falcons and the Jets in this one. The Falcons are a road favorite. This is impossible. Oh man, you could go back and look at some of these trends, and this doesn't work out at all. Nobody's going to win this game. This might be a tie. Could the final score be like 12-12 or 15 or something crazy like that? This has got to be pretty bad here. You've got Boyle in there for the Jets. You've got Ritter for the Falcons. At least you have a little bit of experience with Ritter here, but ugh, I'm going to probably end up on the under in this game. Is it 33? Is it under? It might be even 33 by now. It might be 32 by the time I get off the air here. Okay, I better set it at 33. And even on this game, you're not, I'm not getting any value because the total was as high as 36 and a half. Could you imagine? Feels like under city with this one. Maybe some goofball stuff will happen. I couldn't uh, put it in there as a premium, or I would. But Atlanta, they don't when they don't lose by very much. They're always in the game. That's a crazy thing about it. They're a really competitive team. Their last three losses have been by 5, by 3, by 2. They are just 1-3 straight up on the road this season. I make fun of the Falcons just because long term road, but under Arthur Smith, they are 3-3 as a road favorite right now, but they are turning the ball over twice as often as their opponents right now. Over the last 8 games or so, they're -8 in turnovers over the last 8 games, and Atlanta just not good in close games. They're also 1-6-1 against the spread last couple of seasons in their games against AFC opponents. The one interesting thing about these type of games, when talking about those over under trends, is this season when the AFC plays the NFC. Do you guys like those over under trends, especially when they're like 63% or so? Well, non-conference games, AFC versus NFC, 39 unders, 21 overs. Wow. Yeah, 62.1%. So right now these type of games also go under your road favorites. Those teams are still, remember we talked about the road favorites earlier in the season, and how those games are going. Well, road favorite, when the road team is favored, those games are still strong to the uh, under this season. In fact, uh, after 12 weeks, when the road team has been favored, it's 59% to the under at 106 unders and 73 overs. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's all. No, that's all the game. 59% under in all games. Okay, I'll get it right. All right, let's see if you got comments on this thriller. Here's an under here. That's because only 12 people like it, Lex. No problem. I appreciate 5 dozen in here right now with me, looking at everybody's picks for the game between the Jets and the Falcons. Yeah. And Matt, we've seen new news about this week. I mean, if the Jets, you know, the timing issue of it is going to be, I mean, I think they're going to be honest with themselves here. If the timetable for Rodgers' return coincides with the Jets' elimination from the playoffs, it does look like they will, as I would think you would err on the side of caution and terminate the comeback for this season. So only if they have, even if it's, win and you're in, or we need 2 wins in a row or 3 wins in a row, whatever, they will go for it if Rodgers is ready. And, looking back at the type, right? Did you guys see? I mean, it was tough to watch, but they showed how they thread the surgery through. I don't know. I'm a doctor all of a sudden, but the new way that they did this type of, is why they think it can be, healed already. And again, not as push off foot. That's a thing too. You still might have to take off running. Anyway, uh, who- I'll take the under in this one. Atlanta's gone over in 3 of their last 4, but, Boyle 0-4 as a starter. Simeon is the backup here, if anybody's wondering, in this one. So the Jets just, they have, I think 10 touchdowns this season or something like that. And they have 42 three and outs this season. They've had 121 drives, 42 three and outs for the Jets. Okay, I'll just go under here. All right, Cardinals and the Steelers. This was a Super Bowl matchup one time, wasn't it? Here with the Steelers, favored in this one by 6.5. And 41, well, Steelers juggernaut here. They opened this week as around a 3-point favorite early on, but I think that was before we kind of caught wind of really what was happening here. No, I mean, we know what's happening in Arizona. They're going to come in here not very good. At least we get Marquise Brown in the game today, but for the Steelers here to lay points, it still feels a little bit uncomfortable, I would think, in this one. uh, Here, it seems like, with Murray in there, he should be able to deal up a little bit of magic to cover some numbers against a Steelers team that just winning a game is hard enough. Sure, they've been the team that hasn't been able to outgame their opponent. They finally did. Maybe they will here. They fired the offensive coordinator and they had the best game of the season. So why wouldn't they get better immediately? Uh, I think we've seen now they have a special connection with their quarterback and their Pickens and Pickett. It's pretty good, but Steelers overall are not a team. 7-4. I mean, there's no. This is total Steelers, right? This has been great, but I don't trust them to get a number here necessarily. They've won and covered 5 of their last 7 games, but now you're getting into a little bit of dangerous territory here in the NFL when you're talking about 6.5 points. To me, I'm going to have to be on the Cardinals here in this one, even though the Steeler, when they go out of division, you think of the division games and how tough they are. They actually, when they go out of division, they're pretty good, especially against the NFC. They've covered 6 of their last 8 non-conference games, but not the best as home favorites. You think of Tomlin, winning the home game, 16-19 against the spread last 35. I just think it's going to end up being too many points for a guy like Murray. Again, they were stuck in the doldrums here, losing those games. Even the Dobbs factor, right? It was Dobbs that was in all those games. So everybody, we get all excited one game, and you see what we get the real Dobbs next game, which isn't terrible, right? But it's not a playoff championship type solution. And Murray, we're not to say that we're not putting Murray, but again, before Murray's long absence, the Cardinals were, winning some games here and there, at least a 50-50 proposition. Murray's sub 500 as a starter in his career, but he's been, stuck in Arizona, which has lost 21 of their last 25 games. Despite that, they are just 10-12 against the spread in their last 22. So usually they're getting enough. They're getting enough a lot of times to be very competitive. And here it does feel like you're getting a little bit of a bonus. It does feel like to me. Steelers aren't overpowering anybody at this point, especially offensively. That's proven. Maybe they might not even outgain them here today. It could be close in yardage, I would think. But I'm taking the Cardinals. in this one. And of course, the total 41 here. Apparently, there's a seat. Apparently, touchdowns have been changed to 9 points or something today for this one. Here comes some picks. Might have missed a few of you guys here. And I might have missed. Do they have Ziggy? Do they have more news on Rogers? Like, have they expedited? Have they given a date on that? Because I was just kind of going on. You know, I didn't. I haven't watched any of the shows today. You can see I didn't even have the right inactives there. I was still on last night. Okay, Lex is on the cards. Matt says the Steelers defense will do it here. Blake says going to go the under. You guys got plays in this one. Yeah, not awful. Yeah, he won't run. Rogers won't be running anywhere. Yeah, Ziggy, very interesting point here. Ziggy is a Pittsburgh correspondent. So, and yeah, I don't expect them to fall flat necessarily. I think they can probably get it done. The Steelers, they feel like, right? They feel it's funny that they actually had a little bit of chemistry issue there, right? Or whatever it was, Ziggy, right? And if anybody can fix a team that's having some, professionalism issues, right? I think it feels like they got the right guy to do it. So, all right, give me the cards for sure here. Sorry we're taking so long. Just don't not many games, and I love the games today. Uh, Colts and Titans on the road here. The Colts. This isn't going to be easy. The Colts. Hey, bless the Colts, man. They've been doing a great job this season, keeping it together here. Right now, with a 6-5 record, coming in against the Titans, maybe they are. Look, they are 3-0 straight up at home, and maybe they can put it together a little bit here, and rally this situation a little bit with their new quarterback. It hasn't been great yet, but there is reason I think to think that they have something with Levis here. He's won a couple of games now already. Final. Okay. All right. Indianapolis, they won their last 3 games, allowing just 39 points in those 3 games today. Here, this total 42, because everyone knows when you've got a rookie quarterback like Levis, right? And you've got the Uncle Rico, that points are going to be coming in this one. What's going on? You got, you know, 2 solid pretty solid running games. Now there is some news, certainly in this one, when it comes to Jonathan Taylor. That thumb injury is going to keep him out, so that's a little bit of a bummer for the Colts. I mentioned Taylor a little bit, and for the even for the most part too, when you think of the Titans and their running, they haven't been necessarily what we expect, but we shouldn't go out and expect guys like Henry and Taylor. Those workhorse, there feels like workhorse backs don't work anymore to a certain extent. You can ride them in the playoffs a little bit, but man, you still get beat up there, right? Sometimes they end up by the championship game. It's a little bit too much if you don't have enough passing with those guys. And yeah, they can bust it off. Even Taylor. So look, I said, we weren't seeing the good Taylor yet off the injury yet. We got in there, turned in a touchdown, looked really good. Bummer about the thumb injury. That'll keep him out here for a little bit, it looks like. They could use him. Hey, they're still alive here. Are Indianapolis, but this looks like a tough game to me. I don't think they're going to win this game. I want to take Tennessee here at home. I think they're starting to put it together. And the Colts, they do look like they do enjoy that, dome atmosphere a little bit. They're home. They look like they're kind of geared toward the turf game a little bit, and to go outdoors here. I know that's a overused angle a little bit, but the way the Colts discrepancy a little bit. There seems to be a little bit more home away dichotomy than other teams right now. So I don't like them here to go on the road. They're 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 division games on the road. So I'm going to end up with the Titans, even though they've lost 5 of their last 7 right now. This is the spot for me to come with the Titans. They're 4-0 straight up and against the spread at home this season. I think Levis is growing. They're going to be rolling with Levis. In Tannehill at this point, if he ever came back, I guess he's still in that deserves the right. But this type of it's going to be another, rehab thing, and Levis is a type of thing where remember they talked about him in college. Remember on the show with Mindy, she was always talking about Levis as well. Pro prospect, through college at a team that they were okay. They got it together, played in the SEC, so he was good, looked good, and Tennessee, 7 of their last 9 games have gone under. Their team totals gone under in 8 of 11 games. Colts, they're over City to a certain extent, but a lot of those were at home. On the road is a little bit more neutralized here. So give me the Titans in this one. All right. And that total, I'm looking at another high total right there. It looks like to me. That one actually that's a little because it's gone down the total. Look, I might have used this as a premium as a total at 43. It opened. Okay, mostly 42 and a half. Okay, that's why I didn't have it on the premium list. But um, I mean, I could give out a double play right now. I mean, I like the under as well. Let's see what you guys have, then we'll move on. Lex does like it over. Okay. Fernando likes it over. So, yeah. And Blake, you think about it. And Henry, you don't have to, you know, it's like a fine line with him. You want to use him as much as you can because you can. If Derrick Henry goes off, this game will win, right? If they or not even goes off, if he dominates this game in Derrick Henry fashion and can, you know, roll, you know, roll. And again, it all depends on the momentum, right? Because you don't go in with a game plan to run him 30 times, but if it does and it's working, you keep with it, right? And if he even gets, you know, 30 and 140, that's a win. That's going to be a win right there. You'll dominate every aspect of the game. Williams says under with me, I think a little bit. Um, the emojis don't work on StreamYard, but you can only imagine Gary with a body green covering eyes and a face purple smiling tears. All right. Oh, okay. Gary is always Biggie. Okay. I always get that one. I always forget. Sorry, my friend. Okay. I like the under too. I don't really do the NFL on a double play basis. This will be I don't know. Did we do one previously? I like the under. It's 41, no 42. I mean, yeah, maybe I missed it. Maybe I should have been premium in that one. I like the under. I like the Titans to win. This one's going to be okay. This will be a good game. It often is. All right, the Dolphins and the Commanders. Well, look at this one. Of course, you got the high power Dolphins and the Commanders with all those passing yards. Why wouldn't there be 50 points in this one? Are you kidding me? I mean, okay, yeah, I guess they could just go out and have some type of, but even, whatever. I'm sure it'll be 65 points and this will just be a great offensive game, but it shouldn't be if you think about the way some of these scripts go. I mean, it could conceivably if everything's clicking for both teams, but the Dolphins are a much better team than the Commanders, and they should be able to actually, I believe, do a very good job on them defensively. Now, I think there's too many points here for my liking, and I will try the Commanders. The Dolphins on the road are showing a little bit of inconsistency. The Commanders, there show some life, I think, with that offense a little bit. Look, they fired their defensive coordinator after the last game, and they were, having, those kind of issues. So they were getting outscored in the first half. They were, other teams were coming in and jumping on them so fast that they kind of end up having to pass their way back into the games a little bit, and that even hasn't even been that smooth. Four of their last five games have gone over the total, and for Miami, they've scored 31 or more points in six of their eight victories this season. They're 8-3. The Commanders are 4-8 right now, but I've just got this too many points in an NFL game here. You can even get nine at this point. Total hanging out at 49 and a half. Get some of your comments here. I think I'm, a little bit done with the game here, but I don't see it the way everyone else does, I guess. I understand the Commanders have the, very strong numbers in their passing game, but you have to give some respect to the Dolphins as one of the top teams in the AFC with a pretty decent defense. Yeah, are they best defense of some of those teams? No, probably not. But they're one of the better teams, and I think that the Commanders will have a rough time scoring. And yeah, the Dolphins on the road, um, they're the potential is always there, but and they're great. All right, Commanders here. And Lex is on the Commanders. Mike says take the Commanders to cover. Blake says Tyreek has a great day. And Tyreek always has a great day, but man, you know what? You get him third quarter, there's a shot to the never rooting for Injury, but and Tyreek is incredible. He just puts himself into vulnerable positions sometimes. It gives him some extra contact. Sometimes flying through the air. I've seen him be careful when you got a weapon like Tyreek Hill. Solo lay it. Johnny's got an under here in this one, and Fernando's got an under. I can't, going to have an NFL game with 50 points scored in today's environment does not, unless there is a certain formula for overs right now, even in today's environment. I think there is a couple of games on this board that point to an over. I don't know if this is necessarily it. Over the last four seasons, we talked about the AFC, NFC games going under at such a strong clip. Well, when the AFC team has gone into an NFC team as a 4-point favorite or more, the last 13 games over 4 years, so it's not happening that often. Three 3 or 4 times a season right now where an AFC team goes into an NFC team. Remember, there's not really that many you think there are, but remember, you only play one other division. Each team will play, the four non-division games. So you have, all the teams play four games. But 13 times over the last 4 years, AFC road favorites of four or more have gone under in 12 of the last 13 games that this type of situation has occurred. It could be a little bit of noise, but when you throw onto the fact that over the last two seasons, when the under is hitting, let me see if I have this right. Oh, when it's under 54 points, because when it's under 54 points like this one, that one increases a little bit to 17 unders and 3 overs. Okay, I hope I got that right. All right. I can't read my writing, so uh, nonetheless, I'm taking the Commanders here as a dog. I might have pulled that one out of my Mike M book. Mike, you out there? All right, Lex got the forecast. So it sounds like some northeast conditions up there today. And again, a lot of people that I'm not worried about the snow or the rain. I'm worried about the wind. Even the top elite handicappers say that. And I'm not one necessarily. I think you should analyze each game individually, right? And try to just think about it. A young team might turn the ball over more, a road team in certain situations. So, okay, I was just going to maybe peek at the weather a little bit. I didn't for that Patriots game, did I? Okay. Rain at the kickoff, and then it clears up for an hour, and then the rain comes back, and then it clears up. Sounds like a great day in the DMV, Lex. Steam play. All right. Here we go. Man, we're still on the morning games here. Broncos and Texans in this one. How about it with the Texans at home? Just a 3-point favorite here against the Broncos. All right. Hey, this might be a favorite that I can get behind here. I want to compliment the Broncos, of course, for everything that they've done and accomplished here this season to turn it around quickly. Really impressed with you know, with what Coach Sean has done because you had some questions early on. You think when you're on the old buddy network, and maybe it doesn't work out long term, but well, when you got to maybe shore things up in the short term, you still can have a long term plan, but you got to win now. Sometimes if you don't win now, you get fired. So why not bring in people you're familiar with and start winning a few games and then worry later about what you need to do to make your team better. If you're capable and you got great assistants and you have a belief in your program, there's no reason why Coach Sean can't, uh, you know, get back to a steady winning here. It feels like, like him or not, he certainly had his share of controversy along the way, but they've made the hire. The Broncos have done pretty well here of late, mostly because of their great turnover margin. They're really being aggressive defensively and doing an incredible job right now taking the ball away. They've won their last five games, giving up just 17, 9, 22, 20, and 12 points. They've been doing a great job. But going up against Houston team that's won three of their last four, you gotta like the way things are clicking for them here. Both teams 6-5. This is a pretty good game. I mean, who would have thought, right? This is a hot game, and where these teams stand for the playoffs, and I feel like they might be underestimating Stroud a little bit here as just a 3-point favorite. I like the Texans to get a win. It's gonna be tough to cover this number. Maybe you'll go money line. Maybe you'll buy a little, NFL. No problem getting off that three. I think we're stuck here, giving it out as a three on the air here. I think it's just three across the board wherever you look. Plain as day. The total here is at a high 47. 47, huh? Yeah. Okay, Stroud's great. I love him. He's a rookie still, going up against pretty improving defense here for me. And, uh, you know, okay, Russell Wilson, that's cool too, but he's just average, and you put him on the road against the Texans, which obviously are doing pretty good defensively too. The thing to caution here about Houston is they are one of the worst home favorites around. They're just awful, quite frankly. So I'm glad it's three. They're 2-11 in their last 13. That's going to turn a lot of people off. But I just think we got a little bit of value here. The Broncos have been a nice run to raise their stock really high. Maybe we're continuing to take the Texans for granted a little bit here. The last 4 weeks, they're averaging nearly 28 points. And this game is calling for them to score, probably 24 to 27 points. So they're at home against, just a slightly above average team. So I think 3 or 4 touchdowns. I mean, I know that is the difference. Unfortunately, I'm not saying 3 or 4 touchdowns seems likely. I'm just saying that is the difference here, really. Can you get to that, uh, 4th score or 3rd field goal? Okay, Lex does like it over. Fernando likes it over. Blake says it's gotta be close to this. Ziggy says he likes Sean Payton. How about the fact that Sean's daughter is, uh, basically a sports betting analyst? Is that doesn't raise any red flags? I'm not one of those people like out there. The sideline reporter knows all. He's going to put $1 million on the game. Yeah, the Adam Schefter's betting accounts, you know, throughout the industry. Anyways, Matt, this is from our Denver correspondent. Matt, I think you can be a little, and he's not disrespecting his team. I think Matt's got a good handle on it. I know he's happy with the progress of the Broncos, and yeah, um, have they overachieved a little bit? Maybe, but I think their dedication to the uh, Peyton program here a little bit. Matt says they'll take the points. So I didn't want to get too off. I think though he is saying that they're getting hyped up on this situation. When you think of drinking the Kool-Aid, you're like thinking it's like a little bit of a fraud. Um, I don't think we're thinking that. I don't think Matt means that either. But I think they are saying like maybe just a little bit overexcited. It's not quite there yet. But hey, when you're in the race, there's you're in the race, right? There's not a you know hey, we're building. I mean, all of a sudden we're in it. Ziggy will take the Texans, and so will I. Hope I got all your plays in there. Oh, Fernando's from Houston. Okay, I did not know that. Ray's got the Texans. Yeah. And so what I figured out what I was saying there, and Ziggy did say good stat, and it was I had it backwards, right? It was in general. It was I had it backwards. The bigger sample size for those unders obviously were um, when the total is 49 or under, and then the other one was if it was 54 or under, has the bigger sample size. So still goes under. It goes under when the number is higher. Obviously, I just had it backwards. Hopefully, everybody understood understood it. I might have botched the stat, but a lot of unders. Okay, Panthers and Buccaneers here. This is a we're getting into no. This is a one more. No, we're into the afternoon games. This is a clunker. The clunker. Put in the clunkers again. They actually switched a game this week. They moved the Broncos and the Texans to an early slot, and moved the Panthers and Bucks to the late slot. Probably not to interfere with their little eagle thing. Okay, Panthers and Bucks in this one. Can the Panthers? They fired their coach. They fired 2 assistants. They probably got fired the video people. I don't know. Just a disaster this season in Carolina. Pointing fingers. The owner wanted Bryce Young. The old coaching staff wanted C.J. Stroud. Did they really? Uh, I guess the owner calls the shots. He said so. He pretty much said as much. He said, if I'm signing the paychecks, we're going to take, I'm paraphrasing, of course. This is the way the media interpreted I saw the press conference too. It just was a lot of, uh, you know, the guy was taking a little bit of responsibility, but does seem like he said, hey, I'm going to, go with who I want. And, hey, look, maybe there are some people out there who had CJ Stroud better than Bryce Young, and those people were probably right. And there's no reason why Bryce Young can't turn it around and at least, be an NFL quarterback. Look, there are some quarterbacks out there with like a 8-26 record making starts today. That's a long time, 34 games. I mean, that's basically 3 seasons of starts, and you're still rolling with that quarterback. So Bryce Young, there's time here, but Could he be the next Mac Jones? Uh, you know, maybe what we're seeing from Alabama was those receivers, the speed, the defense, and it makes the quarterback look good. So, all right, let's get to it with the Buccaneers here. They've lost 6 of their last 7. They've covered the spread in 4 of their last 5. You going to trust them here as a home favorite, even against the Panthers in this one? Well, I don't know, but I do know this. I'm finally going to find a recipe for an over here with this one. Yeah, even with the Panthers and the Buccaneers, that well, if anything, the Panthers had a little bit of defense this season here. I think that we will see improvement out of this team offensively moving forward with this coaching staff. Not saying it's the right situation for what they're in right now, but again, when you're dealing with usually you think of the division games as unders. We're actually seeing overs or well, I won't say over. We're seeing overs specifically, but we're not seeing the strong 60% under trend. It's more of just I want to say a 50-50 proposition. It might be a game or two over or under. I didn't have the latest stats after uh, yeah, I do actually. The division games are just 28-30. There's nothing really. And last week they were 6-4 to the over. And this one I'm going to go over 6 of the last 9 matchups. This is a division wide division game here. 6 of the line matchups have gone over. They meet twice a year. Panthers often have trouble on this trip, even before their lack of success here. They've failed in 4 of their last 5 games. Buccaneers have won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. So, but the Bucks don't feel like a team that could cover any spreads, even against a one-win team right now. And let's see what you got. Okay. And Blake's going to lay it here. And Lex says this is the ugly matchup of the day. He'll take under. I'm going against you, Lex. I think this is the over game here with this one. I think Young breaks out a little bit. Yeah, Tampa has some defense. We're going to look up the stats for when people get fired here. I don't think so. I don't think the coaching is weighing too much of this here. No, in fact, you look at the way the spread has moved this week in the game. Yeah, maybe the Buccaneers were favored by 5.5 or 6, but I think what's occurred there is just an overvalue necessarily. I don't think they're handicapping it as far. I'm seeing a 3 out there right now. It might be juiced, but might even be moving to the Panthers here a little bit. I don't know if I can get on either side here publicly. I might do a little teasing myself. I never give out teasers on the air because I don't follow the rules and I don't want to be laughed at in the NFL. I do follow I look for those spots, those those Wong teasers. If you know what a Wong teaser is, join me in the Discord. If you want to talk Wong teasers, we can talk about it all day long. And hey, if you're not right, you're Wong. So I'm going to take the over in this one of the Panthers and the Buccaneers. I'm a little bit contrarian. All right, I'm just going in order of the uh, rotation. I probably could put the next, the Browns and the Rams next, but this game is next. So, uh, felt like kind of a crescendo, but I don't want to go out of rotation order. So I'm going to talk about it right now with the big game of the day between the 49ers and the Eagles. Can't wait for this one. It's going to be great. And 49ers road favorite. Okay, I guess the 49ers, I mean, obviously, if they're a road favorite here, no need to check the Super Bowl odds. No reason to, the 49ers are the clear cut favorite to win the Super. Maybe we already know that, but a little bit disrespectful to the Eagles, I would think here. Feels like a dangerous spot, actually. for the 49ers. Yeah, maybe the offense is clicking. Maybe everybody's healthy now on the 49ers, so they should get it going. Maybe the Eagles have been so good. You got, Goddard doubtful in a game where you need a guy like Goddard. But, the Eagles got plenty more than just a Dallas Goddard here in this one. I mean, the Niners are great. The Eagles are 10-1. The Niners are 8-3. I guess the Niners are just looking so good right now that they're going to come in and smash the Eagles here on the road today. Um, so yeah, I mean, are there some concerns why this line has moved? Yeah, I mean we know what's going on here, but I kind of throw it out the window a little bit. I don't know. Ziggy's on the Niners, and what else? Anybody else? This is the big game, you guys. I think Ray's going under here in this one, huh? Eagles win an ugly one. Okay. Eagles. What Blake? What is ugly? I mean, does that mean low score? Does it mean they win it with a botched fumble punt in the end zone with a safety falling back out, or no one? Because I think Fernando's got it right here. I mean, shouldn't this be a great game? Let me go back a little bit to the talking about the league wide concept a little bit. And yeah, the total's high, and I'm Mister Under. I know that, but remember they moved the peak game. Right, this is a 4 p.m. you know Eastern start, and over the years we know the great matchups get moved to the 4 p.m. window. There have been plenty of games in Philadelphia, New England, even the Meadowland, the Jets and the Giants, whatever. I mean, they're a marquee team. Their games get moved to 4 p.m. at the Meadowlands, right? Remember, these afternoon window games are going over. And usually it's where the best matchup happens each day, some of the best matchups each day. And the late windows going over 25 out of 45 games went over 4-0 last week. That's not the handicap in this game, but what you have here is the Eagles have gone over in 3 of their last 4 games. And yeah, the Niners have been going under in 5 of their last 7. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. You might expect of this to, because you have good defenses here, but I think the regular season matchup, I expect it to go under. I expect to go under, but I mean, start over. I expect it to go over, and I'm going to take the points with the Eagles. That's what I feel like I'm going to do. So, all right, but for this one, give me the over here as my play here on the show. Like I said, I just think the better matchups, the better offenses, the better games have a chance to. This feels like not a square play, but kind of a square handicap to a certain extent. I just think these good teams that have good quarterbacks with crisp offenses that can score do eventually will score. And with a great game expected, you could have those extra score. So Ferner says he'll take. Look, we can grab more points certainly with this one. No reason not to. Make sure you want to get that win. And these are NFL games. You get 17 chances in the regular season. Mike, first, right? Mike, this one, if it's a great game and there's expected to be 48, 49 points scored, uh, what are the chances of it being, 35-14, right? Whichever team scores first, you can probably come back on the other team. You might be able to get back and forth in this game. Why wouldn't it be a great game? Yeah. Yeah. Whatever's going on with the public betting, the bookmakers wanting to make the Niners a favorite. Look, I'm not. the Niners are my choice to win the Super Bowl. Bottom line is they're going to have to come back here to Philadelphia later in the season because they put, wasn't their fault that their injuries. Every team gets them. That's what they say. Every team gets them. The Niners' injuries came in a cluster. They couldn't, fix things in that little 3 week span, the little losing streak that they had. And hopefully it's over. And they're all back to pretty much healthy, right? We said, get Debo back. Make sure you have a healthy McCaffrey. Trent Williams, I've said, the best tackle in the league. I thought he was the key when he was out, why the Niners went down. So I'm taking in this one the over for sure. Crisp, good offenses to me result in overs. So I know the teams have good defenses, but they'll find a way. I mean, the easiest play in football. Yeah, maybe doubles. Hey, look, in the NFL, everyone wants to make their own betting storylines up. It's pretty much about the public when it comes to the NFL and the line, right? I mean, there's too much on the line to be giving out, uh, you know, big bets to sharps once you turn the limits loose on an NFL game and you're taking, 10 and 20 grand aside. Everybody, you think about all the hubbub about what people think about, big betters and everything and rig this and rig. It's not about that. It's about guys who are really good betters and books want to cater to customers. They want to keep their books balanced, but you don't want to get popped too many times. Eagles beat San Francisco. Remember that game last year? They just drubbed them. So Niners are, much improved even off of that this year. They're incredible. Eagles have won 3 of the last 4 in this series, and I'm going to take the over in this one. Yeah, it's going to be good. Going to be good. And then, you can complement that with another great game on the other TVs. Panthers Bucks on one, Browns and Rams on the other. Here in this one with Joe Flacco out there for the Browns. They'll be able to stay in this game. The Rams aren't going to cover any spreads, right? Come on. Rams are cool. Love what they're doing. Hopefully, they're going to have a nice day today. But the Browns are coming in here with a great defense. And I don't even think we know it is Flacco. The reason why he wasn't I believe actually, like we had to wait today was that I think the roster move itself, right? I mean, there's kind of a technicality. You can't send out league wide notices of players who are not on the roster yet. So Flacco gets the start. You know, well, no improvement here, probably over. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get his face bashed in at the goal line. He's played quarterback a few years, so you know, for all the other guys that the Browns have had in there this season, and hey, there's hope for DTR. You know, Percy's in there, whoever's in there, doesn't matter. The Browns are awesome, man. They're 8-2-2 against the spread, coming off a loss over their last 12 games. They manage the ball so well. They run the ball last 6 weeks, 135 yards a game. They haven't been scoring the last couple of weeks. I mean, there's certainly offensive concerns in this game, but I don't know. I don't think the Rams defense is too special right now, although they did give up just 30 points in their last 2 games in a couple of wins. First time all year the Rams have won 2 games in a row. And you think they're going to win 3 in a row now? Fat chance. Browns might even win this game. But I'll just take the points in this one. And I think they end up producing over this, actually. This is another one where I'm not interested in the under. I'm might be on the over in this one. Rams have gone under in 5 of their last 7. Cleveland's gone over in 4 of their last 6. All right, let's see what you got. Who else we gonna get, right, Furter? I mean, um, it's funny how you just can't find a quarterback. Yeah, Niners, hey, there's plenty to think about, right? But the Eagles are still. I think the only thing that maybe can be considered a handicapping angle is a little bit of complacency. I know we're on the next game now, but the Eagles certainly feeling a little bit comfortable at the top, and you got the great team coming in that you know wants to try to get back in this. But that's a big gap to make up as the season's winding down here. Yeah, it's not going to work out. I mean, Watson can get back. I mean, you're still going to have to roll with him, I think, eventually. Yeah. Other issues, for the Browns here in this one. Yeah. Okay. Thank you to Brandon for his comments. I know a little late, but I just haven't seen Brandon too much. Wanted to get his comments up in there. So I agree with Brandon there. I like Philly, but let's just call this game here for this one. Let's call it for the Browns, man. Browns can go in here and win, and everybody's going to be laughing. I'll move it to 3.5. Rams could win. Rams could win by 1, 2, or 3 for sure. I would think in this one. And yeah, that totals 40. And let's take the Browns in this game here. Rams aren't good enough to cover a number here right now. 1-3-1 against the spread at home for the Rams this season. And look, the Browns are supposed to score here. Look, -4, so it's supposed to be 22-18 approximately. Those are you can't. That's not going to be. I mean, that's like one of the hardest scores to achieve. So 21-17. All the Browns got to do is get one more field goal because to be competitive in this one. 20 points and you're in with the Browns. Might be hard to get there, but the Rams, when they allow 19 points or more, are just 1-6 straight up. So you will need a little bit of production from Flacco, but what you are getting, through all of that is all that experience. Yeah, maybe throw a pick. Who knows? Could throw a pick. Could throw a pick six. All right, I'm gonna take the over there. And the night game. Who wants it? Chiefs and Packers. You've seen the promos. Oh, Mahomes has won everywhere except in Green Bay. Is tonight the night for Mahomes to get a win? He's supposed to. Touchdown favorite here at the Packers. The Chiefs have split their last 4 games, showing a lot of vulnerability of late. Now they're a team that might be able to, kind of put it back together. They're getting off to great starts in the first half, man. They've outscored opponents 186-60 in the first half so far this season. But road favorite, 12, 15, and 1 in their last 28 games as a road favorite. Also, uh, the Chiefs. This is another one, AFC versus NFC type of game. Um, these games have kind of been going under. And of course, it is Sunday night after all. So if I give you, kind of multiple statistics kind of on the game, right? You got Sunday night games that we already know how ridiculous the trend is. 2 overs and 10 unders in Sunday night football. Has this total been adjusted enough for you guys to consider that popular trend right now? The total is as high as 43, but I think you know where I'm probably leaning to in this one. Because not only do you have that overall Sunday night, every game goes under trend, but you have the other factor that, you know, has the non conference games going under at, near 63%. And I don't want to trust the Chiefs to cover a touchdown on the road. Come on. Ray says take the Packers. And Brandon says Packers run defense is struggling. And KC's having trouble protecting Mahomes. KC should stick to the run. And their defense has been good, and that should keep it under. Okay, I'm glad that someone has some rational handicapping in here because I was just going under because every game goes under in Sunday night football. And when NFC teams play AFC teams, I'm glad we have this here, no doubt. Um, Yeah. No, Packers for sure struggling. Just run Pacheco. That's all you got to do. In to me in this one, because actually, I think one thing that again, remember the Chiefs, the receivers. What's the weather tonight, gang? 33 degrees. Oh, sounds like a good night. Look, Kansas City gets cold too. And there is some precipitation expected, and it's 33 degrees. How cold is it going to get? Is that Are those rain drips or are those snow flurries? 33 degrees at kickoff, 32 degrees in the middle of the game, 31 degrees by the end of the game, and rain expected the first 2 hours of some kind, some type of precipitation. It looks like is expected here. So, rain doesn't matter. Rain, snow, 33 degrees. Mahomes will throw it to these guys. Uh, Valdez, Scantling, Moore, Watson, Kelsey will have a monster game. I mean that that much can happen. Look, the thing about Kelsey, we know he has not been producing, and this would be a pretty good matchup to produce some. Blake's on the Packers, Ziggy's on the Packers, Mike's on the Packers. Packers can rush the quarterback here a little bit. Especially, yeah, against the Chiefs. It definitely Mahomes on the run, on the run. Ferner says this one has been moving higher. Good, good. Why wouldn't it? Jordan Love. Let's look. Um, I know a lot of you are here with me day in and day out. This is a money line bet right here. Ferner says it will happen tonight. Both these guys get a touchdown. If both these guys get a touchdown, still got to cover a touchdown. 1 to 3 inches of snow in Lambeau Field. So, look, you go back to I'm on Love. I'm staying with Love. I'm never going to give up on Love. Okay, I'm 55 years old, never been married, no wife, no kids, never been married, no life, no wife, married to the game. And I'm not going to give up on Love at this point. I've been a backer of Love. I'm glad he's come back with a little bit here and shown that he is capable of being an NFL quarterback. The jury's out whether or not long term he can handle any success winning and things like that. But I would think the Packers have won 3 of their last 4 games, kind of getting it back together. They look like they know what they're doing here a little bit. They've won 3 of 5 games at home so far. Green Bay converting 50% on third downs at this point. So things are looking good. Jordan Love's improved his record to 5-7 as an NFL starter. Go back to the early early Ramon Scott shows, morning steam shows. Uh, I've been on with Jordan Love, and he'll be, this might be, I don't know. We've seen some good moments. Could this be, kind of a coming out to a certain extent? Everybody's seen a little bit of success there, but maybe not on a big stage against a Super Bowl contender. Packers tonight, plus the points for me at home. That's it for football. Oh man, took me almost. The show's almost over, but it's NFL football. Come on, bosses. You love it. I love it. It's going to be a great day. Let's get to hockey and get out of here. Two basketball games. We'll crush this hockey card. I guess this is why you came here. You didn't even care about the football. And thank you to 5 dozen who stayed with me. And we're averaging, I don't know, close to 500 views. Want to thank anybody who watched on the replays as well. The weekend's tough with the early games, I know, and usually we preview the early games earlier, but holidays and end of the season, all that. So hopefully everyone's okay with this. Back at the head office. And let's just get into these games real quick. with the Blackhawks and the Wild here because you got a $3 favorite. How much time can you spend on this when you just talked some exciting NFL action? Here we got. I'm willing to lay the Wild in this one with that puck line at this point. Yeah, probably laying a little bit of tax here at 300 now uh, with these two teams, but I think this is a spot for Minnesota to get at least a multi-goal victory. It's going to be very difficult, I would think, for Chicago to score. Is that even the total? I would imagine it's probably going to go lower here than that. Let me pump up the lines here. We're not going to spend too much time on this. Yeah, already seeing Bovada down to 6 over. I better move it to 6 over. I'm probably going to give out double plays today because we got NFL, and I'm not going to go with too many. I don't even know if I'll get to a premium in any of the other sports. We're going NFL because we're going to crush this card. And let's take. I like the under. I'll put it at 6 over 20, maybe even 6 over 15. Let me give myself the absolute worst line. I think you can get better than this if you're playing the game. I think it's going to be tough for the Blackhawks. 3-1, maybe it goes to 4-2, end up with a push. Going to need 3-1, 4-1 right in there somewhere. I've got Minnesota, and I will go under here in this one. Minnesota puck line and the under. And thanks you guys for thank you doubles. That's funny. Biggie, right? Ray's on the under here. Doubles with a little prop. He's also liking the under. Yeah, I put 6.5, and you can get 6.5 still. 6.5 under 20, even. But that 6.5 under was actually an over, so I actually adjusted it too much. I don't know. Maybe I'm just I should have. That's bad job by me actually. Let me put 6 under 20. There we go. Because actually, that would probably be a bad recommendation, considering I would be going a full 35 cents lower than the line. Bad show. You guys could come back and say, Ramon, that was terrible. And I'd go, oh my God, I made a mistake. Even at this line, though, I think it's okay. Here we go. There it is. 6 under 20, 6 under 17, 6 under 18, a little bit. Hopefully, you guys understand my short hand. All you do, you're pretty sophisticated newcomers. That's 6 under 20, meaning under 20. Under will be minus 120, and over will be even. So it's just like a little bit of shorthand. And that's how I write it on my sheets. I don't know if you guys write down numbers or anything like I do, but okay, keep it going here with the another ugly one today with the Sharks taking on the Rangers here in this one. Look at this 450 favorite here. The Sharks are on a roll. Come on. They can hang in there, I would think, with the Rangers today, can't they? Maybe, maybe not here. But for me, I'll just take the under for sure in this matchup. Maybe the Rangers will crush them. Maybe the Sharks can get there. Hey, the Sharks are up to 6 wins now, you guys. We can't make fun of them that long. They finally, had some road success. But here, the total at 6, and it's juiced to the under, maybe even minus 115 or 120. That's the way it's going. Looks like Quick is in there in goal, right? Not Shesterkin, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to take the under today in this game. And I don't know. Could I get in necessarily with the Rangers? No, I don't think I can that price. It's close. I just don't know if I can even make a recommendation here on the show. I mean, we are seeing some unders with these two teams a little bit in these roles. So I know I'm laying a bit of a juice here, but as far as I'd probably maybe lean the Rangers, but I'd need it like 375, and I'd need a money line, a puck line equivalent. Not going to get it. Not going to get there. Mike, I did a bad job there on the Will Taylor Swift be at the game. Feels like it's fading. Okay, so I know we're in the hockey segment, and I know it's an important question because of we go off board a little bit here. Even if the guys get mad at me, and we give a little bit of pop culture. You know what, you guys? Maybe it's just a bounce back. I don't want to upset any Swifties in the audience here. I know you guys love Swifty and you love Travis too, but maybe both are on a bounce back. And I know that's going to make some Swifties cry that here in the chat. In fact, um, I was telling some we had some relatives here for the holidays, and I told them that I thought, because they know I'm a football expert and they're Taylor Swift fans, right? So you have the family come in and they want to know about Travis. And I told, Travis has had a few girlfriends. He's a very open minded man. He's had some beautiful girlfriends, hasn't he? Honestly. And, um, Taylor's had a share of boyfriends, and these two struck up a wild, somehow friendship. But Travis, did he pursue a little bit? Yeah. Did he woo? Yeah. They had some nice, maybe, and they're still maybe having, private, but long term, I told them I'm not, and they started crying. They would not have it from me. They were very upset that I suggested that Travis was using it as a bounce back. All right. Give me the under in the Rangers and that's my handicap in the Rangers and the Sharks game. I got the under for sure. Premium, if it wasn't NFL Sunday, premium play, Sharks, Rangers, under with Quick in there against Blackwood. Believe it or not, I like the under big time in this one. Premium. Blue Jackets and Bruins in this one. We're into the night card. Sharks Rangers at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, and now we're into the 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific games here with the Blue Jackets. Another great night of hockey. This line's already gone up, right? Oh, no, maybe 250 is fine. It was higher, actually. Move on the Blue Jackets, and why not? Look, the Blue Jackets have done us good in a couple of spots. Yeah, they're taking on the Bruins, one of the few teams that, I don't know, can kind of cover a puck line a little bit, but it's obviously a little bit of a pro move here on Columbus. After all, it's Columbus. Yes, Boston is one of the few teams that does cover their puck lines. I mean, they're, elite. They're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league so far this season. You could argue some other 16, 4 and 3, Columbus 8, 13 and 4, but note Columbus's road record against the puck line is 9 and 2. 9 and 2. So I'm on Columbus here on the puck line to hang in there today in this one. And well, look, like I said, probably not going to have any in NHL premiums, and I like the over in this game. So let's do a little double action here, double play in this one at 6 over 20. In fact, let's move it up. I'm already look. Final. I follow the moves. I play the moves. I'm supposed to be a professional here. I can see the writing on the wall when the sharps are on something, and I'm not going to shortchange it. This one's going higher I see 6.5 under 20 at a very square offshore book. So give me over 6.5. You can find sixes out there for sure. I mean, you look so far, talk about Columbus covering those puck lines. Yeah, the defense is bad, but they are 8 and 3 to the over on the road where they seem to cover puck lines. So why wouldn't this game be 4-3 here tonight? Exact scoreline 4-3. All right. Ziggy will take the Bruins though here in this one, and maybe sometimes these weekend games can do that. Definitely get to the dog a little bit. But again, look at some of last night's results too. All right, couple more. Let's get out of here. Want you guys to have a great day today, and thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam. Still got 50 of you live. Let's go with the Predators and the Sabres in this one. Sabres at home. Nashville been looking good. And They've been doing a good job certainly right now. But oh man, I want to play the Sabres here at home. Are they a pick 'em? Really? Yeah, they're pretty much a pick 'em. Maybe they're the slightest of favorites, but maybe a pick 'em. If I'm going to take them, I better make them a slight favorite here. Give myself the worst line. Let's call them a $1.15. I don't think they're a $1.15 anywhere. Maybe at right now I see them favored at Bet Online. They're favored $1.08. That's kind of an equivalent of $1.15 at the regular books, or $1.12 at DraftKings. So I'm going to take the Sabres here in this one. The total has been wild action on the total, but with the Sharps, I don't think they know what they're doing here. I would almost say if you were looking for a bet on the total, quite frankly, you just hang around and see if you can get that 6 over, maybe 6 over 20. I don't know if you can get a 6 over 20. If it's 6 over 20, probably can be good to go, but this one's going to be so close. 6.5, right in there. I don't know if there's even a lot of volatility here to me. It doesn't feel like. I'm just going to take Buffalo at a cheap price here against Nashville at home tonight. Look, Nashville, no problem. I mean, they're 11 and these teams basically have same records. Spit it out, or what? Oh gosh, what was her name yesterday? She'll come back to grammar police on me here a little bit. That's why I'm a writer too. I'm more of a writer, believe you. Maybe you know that. All right. I just okay. Anyways, in this one, talking about that total. I mean, Buffalo at home, they're in a total under team. 8 of their 10 home games have gone under, but Nashville is 7-2 to the over on the road. So maybe that's why the Sharps are having a hard time figuring out what they're going to do in this one. So, all right, Buffalo for me here at home. Under for Ziggy. Mike says he likes Charash in there and goal. 4-3 for me. Let's do it, Biggie. Let's do it. 4-3 correct score line tonight. That is our super secret bonus play. Sabres 4. Or no, I'm sorry, that was the Columbus game. Boston 4, Columbus 3 exact score line play today. Remind me though, I'm going to write it down, but I don't know if I can understand my writing there. Mike has in fact, this is what I've turned into Tony as my, he wanted a business. I said, want more female. Oh, viewership and better. So, okay. Okay. Yeah. No, we want more. We want more females in our game. And Tony, you know what? Almost kidding, but you look at Tony. If anybody's gone and read Tony's profile, he's actually quite proud, and he should be, of his inclusion, especially early on when you didn't see a lot of female. Right now, they do a great job. People come in usually experienced from the journalism field, understand that this is a real situation here. We're all undergoing with betting and videos, even me, right, with this, right? So they're coming. Look at Sean Payton's daughter, for example. She knows the lingo, right? Look at our crew. And Tony said, hey, we've made opportunities for women to feel comfortable. And you have, obviously, with our crew, 2 very capable female handicappers here. And you're seeing more. So, yeah, we want more in this game. We do, because it's fun, right? I know we don't have any ladies in our audience anymore. I know they all went with Mindy. I understand that, and maybe there's some watching. But again, it's Tony, really, you guys that are is into that. Well, we all are. Want more in this game because watching games with action, with friends, enjoying food, cocktails, and having it's a great fun time. You can't walk out of a movie hitting a 4-teamer. All right. I watch some shows. Don't get me wrong. Don't say. All right, last games. Let's go. Avalanche and Kings. The Kings are going to win tonight, baby. They're going to win this game against the Avalanche. I'm pretty sure. Feel great about this. All right, let's take the Kings tonight against Colorado. It's going to be it's going to be a tough rumble game. I don't even know if I want to give it out as the pick necessarily. I'm rooting for the Kings. This price is too high for me, actually. Well, it is down to $1.35. Seems like the maximum price. Uh, I'm not going to give out the Kings. We're going to beat them, though. I'm talking as a fan here, but for me, I've got the over in this game at 6.5, under 20 at this point. It opened lower for sure. So it has gone higher. I didn't check the widely reported steam today. We're almost done with the show. So give me the over in this one. If my Kings lose, I'm sure it'll be because we've given it up offensively. I wouldn't expect the Kings to lose this game, 3-2 or 4-2 or something. So I think they stay in this game, probably gets to 3-3 late. And that's maybe what gets it over the volatility of the match. Just want to say one thing about volatility here before we get to two quick college basketball games. Uh, you know, Never going to tell anyone what to do, or I just want to give a little bit of professional betting concept here is what a lot of professional bettors do, right? So when we have our strongest plays, I'm not talking about Tony's picks, I'm talking about bettors, gamblers, you guys, us, and maybe there are some that already are into this concept. But when we have our stronger plays, right? And we do want to stick with it. And, if they are a clutch team in the end, you're not going to necessarily back off of it. And, in a big game or whatever, you want the excitement. I get that. But sometimes you put a lot of money on a game, and it's your strongest game, right? You feel like that's your biggest, strongest game that you have. Um, you expect your team to smash, right? To mash them, to really go at it, to have a dominating performance, to lead early, if not comfortably. Not 42-0 in the first quarter or anything like that, but to look the part. And the longer that game goes, and your team is not getting the upper hand you expected, but the line hasn't necessarily gone your way, allowing you for those cash out opportunities to get away from the excessive liability that you're now starting to experience as the game goes longer. And your edge might be neutralized by other factors in the game with injuries or just the overall feel like maybe you didn't have the right call after all. You can still, if the game is within reach or if still near the same score, that's where you can reduce the volume. It's not being scared, it's just being realistic, right? You maybe wrong in your handicap, and you can live to fight another day. I know the urge is there and the temptation is there. You can reduce your stake. So when you have your best play, you expect your team to go out and dominate, and they don't always necessarily do that. So that's the time, really. Don't be ever scared, whatever. But that's what has. So the way I explained it towards kind of like a hockey game, necessarily, right? Especially when the margins are so slim, because a lot of times you could have a $2 favorite, and the game is 2-2, right? Quite frequently. So hockey is one sport where that happens quite a lot, actually, right? I mean, how many times you've been on your, modest favorite, $1.50, 60, 70, and your game is tied. And all of a sudden you're in a 3-on-3 overtime. So sometimes, getting off those games before they get to the high volatility situation, the overtime, the penalty, the shootout, where maybe if you think your team is the better penalty shooting team or the better 4-on-4 and 3-on-3 teams, okay. So, all right, two games in college ball today. Yeah. Oh, no doubt, Mike. I mean, well, this was always the concept, right? And that's what you see now. I think maybe the bars will make a comeback a little bit. The BWs and the other places with the TVs, but again, you need what I did. I did a job. I started as a job as a kid. I mean, well, early 20s, mid 20s. I think it was 19 when the sports bars started to go in, and it was different. You didn't have the little satellite dishes. I controlled the big satellite dishes. One of my first jobs before I was working in was working in bars as a sports expert, getting the games on the satellite dish. For like a kid, I'm making like $15 an hour. Just go in, watch the games. People come up, ask me about the games. within 6 months, I was like the manager of the place because I'm like, this is what it's all about. This is a concept. It's all about these sports. I mean, great cooks and all that. Credit to all those guys, but people would flock to these places back in the day before everybody had it in their homes. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Creighton and Nebraska college basketball action. I think I'll look at 2 games. If you have any questions or comments about the games today, we can go over them. Like I said, just looking over some of the results, I wouldn't know where to start on some of these games or what happened yesterday. In college basketball, I think there's just too many nondescript matchups to even necessarily go through. So let's just get to it with Creighton and Nebraska. These games go off relatively early today. Pretty heavy card to go along with the pro football here a little bit. This one is at 10. Help, you guys, help. Here we go. Well, 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 Pacific in this one with Creighton in Nebraska. Creighton on the road. 4-point favorite here. And the total, it's not 40. Is this a football game? Creighton, they might be favored over Nebraska by 4 at this point. Do they even play football at Creighton? Anyways, here with Creighton on the road, 147.5. It might go higher. Let me call up the lines. I didn't really do much of a other than our 2 games. Just have my numbers ready to roll and haven't done deep during football. It's kind of fun to play the basketball games a little bit for cash in this one. So we're in all of them. There it is. Okay, current line 4 and now up to 150.5. Oh man, what a bummer this is. Okay, no wonder it's a free pick. Let's go over 150.5. That sounds kind of dangerous right now. It's just a free play here. I'm going to go over with Creighton and Nebraska today.
Final.
And
system play.
One more I was looking at. Again, I'm just going to get out of here. Not a lot of other pertinent data. I mean, Nebraska's undefeated. Don't forget, one of the hottest teams in the country right now, certainly with their winning streak. Have they played anybody? Not really. The toughest opponent has been Duquesne, and they beat them by 10 points at home. They're coming off a 13-point win against Fullerton. As far as the Blue Jays are concerned, after they lost that game to Colorado State, they came back and mashed Oklahoma State pretty good. We had Oklahoma State as a pick in that one. So I'm going to go over here and look at these. Creighton, these Nebraska scores so far: 157 against Fullerton, 168 against Duquesne, 147 that was against Oregon State. But kind of combine that with Creighton, certainly close to the top 10. I imagine they're going to fall a little bit off the loss to Colorado State. Nothing to worry about necessarily. Colorado State is pretty much near a top 20 team right now, but they've had some high scores. Loyola Chicago went for 153 points. They also scored 82 against Texas Southern. Iowa game, 176 points in that one. They also racked up 90 against North Dakota, 89 against North Dakota State, 105 against Flamu. Give me the over. Gary's, these 2 teams are meeting every time. And look, it's getting up there. It's going to be close. I am taking the over here. I'm going to trust that sharp action here a little bit. Mike says he likes Creighton. Biggie says he likes Creighton. All right, and one more I got.
Final.
What was it? Here it is. It's a game between Clemson and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I believe they are a home favorite. Conference matchups, was just one now every conference wants to kind of get rolling here, it looks like, with Clemson. Pittsburgh's now a 1.5 point favorite. The total down here to about 146 in this one, with Pittsburgh coming in here at home. They're off a loss against Missouri. They lost 71-64. They've lost 2 of their last 3 games. They also lost to the Gators in a holiday tournament after they came back and beat Oregon State. They come in with a 5-2 record so far. Clemson is undefeated right now with the win over Alabama. Pretty big upset to a certain extent, but I think right now Clemson a little bit of momentum here. They've also beat Boise handily at home. They were expected to win that game, but they won it handily by 17 points. They've also beat Davidson, even though it was not a great effort. You got to respect that. And their schedule hasn't been awful. I mean, Winthrop is always a good program to face. UAB, they're in the middle somewhere. So Clemson has looked pretty darn good. Maybe they're starting to get a little bit of attention, and they could do so even more so today with a road victory at Pittsburgh. I think I might have had did I screw up the times again on this one? Yeah, the Clemson game is earlier. I'm going to have to get that right, you guys. All right. For me, here in this one's actually going to be pretty close, but I am going to side here with Pittsburgh to win the game. Talking up a little bit, certainly, about Clemson and their streak right now, but the move is on Pittsburgh. I'm going to favor the Pittsburgh. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you so much. Catch you here back tomorrow. Hey, if I don't ever show up, call the authorities, and otherwise I'll let you know. But appreciate you guys coming here. Don't forget to go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Why not consider my package here today with my 5-pack of NFL early games? I will also have probably a 3-pack. I'm ready to go. I think I do like every game in the afternoon window, but in the early window, the 7 games, I will have you in action with this early window 5-pack for just $30. It's even less than that if you use the promo code TonyT at checkout. I expect to win. I've been having a good NFL season. And not only that, don't look at it as if you're getting some picks from me. You are, but just supporting me. I do get commissions off of this. This is what I do. And we want to, make all that money and buy the Chargers. But in the meantime, let me just come here and try to be with you guys every day for a couple of hours. If you like me, consider doing that. And see what I'm on. And if I don't win, you can grab picks from another handicapper. Come back with me tomorrow on Monday. I'll have another, 5 or 6 plays. I promised I'd have, 25 or 30 over these 4 days. I think we're definitely fulfilling that commitment here. It's all going to be, I think, NFL today. Again, no NBA, if you're wondering. Like I said, NBA takes the day off for that tournament. So check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. You see the handicappers that have been hot there, and you can use the little handicapper leaderboard. You can go right to click on NFL, and you can see in 2023, I am number 2 in the handicapping. I'm up 20 units in 2023 with my NFL picks. So that's all I can say about it. Rolling pretty decent there. Obviously, with that record, what's that, about 56.85%? I'm making that up, but I mean, I'm not a calculator. But all right, you guys, appreciate it. That's my package, my main package for the day. Pick it up right now at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code. I think you can use all kinds of the payment methods or whatever. Team me up with another handicap or whatever. Let's win the early card and keep it rolling into the night card. I'll be rolling with picks all day today. Promise you. In the NFL, we're gonna stick to the NFL. That's where the most information is. I believe less volatility. I know the old saying, the NFL is the least predictable. It is actually the most predictable. The unpredictability of it is that little sliver of whether it falls on either side of the side or total, right? That's the most predictable. Is that fair? Most predictable, yet most unpredictable? That's me. All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. We'll catch you tomorrow with more Morning Steam for Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott.